other thing that happened during the lockdown was this,
Yeah,
which
we want
is
to talk about this. That's
yeah,
an
I
old
was
friend.
yeah, an old friend for both of us. Like I knew who had bought this guitar at the auction when Phyllis auctioned it off. I emailed the guy who got the guitar, and I said, I'm having this Barney Kessel, visitation, just thinking about you and the guitar. And then I think I said, if you ever want to let it go, give me first crack at it.
Yeah.
And I went and played a set. And when I got off the bandstand, he'd already emailed me back, and he says, I can't believe you just called me. He said, just today I was talking to my wife. It's time for me to let that guitar go to somebody else. He said, I'd love you to have it, and we worked it out, went and got it. And then I did a record kind of based on the guitar.
That guitar has such a history of, in a way, it's a kind of a Frankenstein, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that. It's because it's a bit of this and a bit of that. And
so, of course, it's a 46 ES 350 originally. It had the split parallelogram, and it still has the that little decal in the inlay that Gibson had. He painted over it, but you can see it if you catch the right light. And then he, after some years, he put this pickup in, which is a Charlie Christian from the late 30s, one of the first ones they ever made. As far as I know, this is the third fingerboard on this instrument.
Wow.
Barney did it with this with a 22 fret. So it came all the way to, you'll see some pictures of this guitar with the fingerboard all the way to the pickup. And then he had another one put on for some reason, and I'm guessing it happened when the neck broke, because it was a really bad, it's hard for you to probably see, but right there, the headstock got broken. I was on the road with him in Australia when this happened. I think when the headstock got reattached, I think he changed the fingerboard again. That would have been like around 88. And this, because you can see how much wider it is than the other binding.
All right. Sure.
And again, I never really talked to Barney about that. So
could you show me something on there? Could you show me the jack?
And my guess is he probably left it on the stand, in that, setting up on that stand, and he got his foot caught, or somebody got their foot caught in the cable and pulled the guitar off the stand and just crushed this area, which meant he needed to kind of put a metal plate in to reinforce it. But I don't know, try and get it close. You can see the cracks in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of cracks, isn't there?
I mean, it's really bad here. See all that?
Oh, yeah.
And it's really worse there. And it goes all the way up here, and then
I never realized the guitar was as damaged as that.
I mean, it almost looked like the top came off, And so I'm wondering if Jim also glued all these cracks, because I'm a little concerned that, I might want to reinforce them. I guess the guitar has held together all these years since then. So
I remember Barney telling me that when he had that pickup, he would sometimes have problems. When taxis used to have, I don't know, what was it, long wave or short wave radio?
Right.
Where they would, he would suddenly, you'd be playing something, he was saying, taxi 26, go to 42nd Street. So he found a guy in Italy. Barney worked a lot in Italy, and he found a guy in Italy. He said, I know how to fix that. And he got some kind of, I don't know, it was copper or I don't know about the metal, and covered it around so it would stop that kind of interference. guitar is that's probably the most famous jazz guitar there is. Maybe alongside Wes Montgomery's.
This guitar, this is on, right?
Crimea River. That is the guitar. How's
I
it
mean,
make you feel to play that?
oh, it's just like unbelievable.
Could you play it again for us? We want to hear
Okay,
it
this
again.
is, for those of you who don't know, this is the iconic intro he came up with for Crimea River on the Julie London record. Her name, Julie is her name.
Playing that guitar.
And then she comes in. Now you say you're sorry, you're lonely.
One of the most iconic.
Yes, that's probably the most famous thing he ever played.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like multiple million seller in I think 52 or 54 or something like that. And yeah, I mean all these records, the guitar that launched the Oscar Peterson trio.
Yeah,
he was the first guitar player in that trio, and he quit kind of, he always said he quit because his wife at the time, I think that was number two, like just wanted him to be home more, and he was making way more money in the studio than he was making, with Oscar. And so it was just, he gave a gig up and Herbie took over.
And that the energy in both of your playing, I mean, you both had this amazing energy when you played together. What was that like?
Oh, it was great. And yeah, it was he just came in and sat in on one of my gigs, like I must have been 21, and in San Francisco, and he was traveling through town. This is a time where he had his New York band, but he was mostly traveling around by himself. This is just before Eddie Jefferson and him kind of hooked up. And he came into a gig. He had hired the drummer that I played with on my little local Monday night gig. And he came and sat in and he listened to me and he goes, man, he says, you're just like Sonny Stitt on the guitar. I'm just sort of a custodian now of ways, I mean, I've got this memorabilia, and I got the guitar and I'm just going to play it, and I mean, I still play my other guitars every now and then, but this is the horse I want to ride, and it's not getting in the way.
Spoken like a true cowboy.
Any problems I'm having are not the guitar's fault, believe me.